Welcome to the first Pocket Byte. So these episodes are going to be focusing on giving you a bite-sized information on a financial topic that I find interesting. Let's fill your pocket. The first bite is none other than the name of the show, the wealth effect. The wealth effect is a psychological phenomenon where people tend to spend more when they perceive themselves to be wealthier. This perception doesn't always come from actual increases in income, but rather the increased value of their investments. The increased value in their assets, such as their house, stocks, crypto, or anything else. Here's how it works. If you ever noticed that when you tend to be financially comfortable, you tend to spend more, well, that's the wealth effect. As you see the value of your investments increasing, you tend to perceive yourself as wealthier. It can lead to an increased spending on items such as like Xbox or anything else that you typically wouldn't be going out to buy if you didn't feel you were richer than before. For example, let's say your house increased in value or your Pepe coin just skyrocketed to the moon. Even though your income didn't increase, you still feel wealthier and you feel more in control of your finances, thus making you feel wealthier in your own eyes. As a result of that increased value, you feel like you can spend more on your vacations, NFTs, shoe collections, anything, even though your income hasn't changed at all. In other words, people who feel like they have more money tend to spend like they do have more money, even though it's just a perception, as they haven't realized any of the games from their home equity, stocks, crypto, or anything. It's just on paper, they are wealthy, thus, they feel more comfortable to start spending everything. And the wealth effect can work in reverse as well. Just like in the 2008 housing crisis, people felt poorer than they were because of the value of their home decreased on paper. They felt like they had to cut back, even though they hadn't realized the losses or any gains on their house. They just felt that way because of the market. And this also applies to retirement accounts. When people see their retirement accounts grow, they feel more financially secure for the future and tend to spend more today, though they won't realize those gains on the appreciating assets in many years. And those who do trade often, their perception of risk changes as they see their portfolio grow and eventually leading them to tweet HODL or to the moon. As they see that their investments are doing well, they start spending more, even though they haven't taken that money out of their accounts and there's no increase in their income. This leads them to be less hesitant to take more financial risks, which can be detrimental if they aren't practicing good investment strategies. And an important thing to know about the wealth effect that it's not felt evenly across everyone. The wealth effect tends to impact more people who have larger portfolios or more assets in their possession. This is because if the market is going up, they tend to feel more wealthier because their assets appreciated more than someone who has less assets or no home, no investments. They don't feel that rush of feeling good about their financial future. When there is an economic boom, the people with the most assets do feel better, while those with less assets feel worse and they still don't feel the benefits of the boom. Though in an economic crisis, the people with the most assets do feel the most hurt, while people with less assets do still feel it, but on a much smaller scale. And bringing it back to an individual level, understanding how the wealth effect impacts us can help us make more informed financial decisions. And this is tied to the mental accounting principle where we start categorizing our wealth into different buckets, such as investments, crypto, home equity, income, and other investments. When one of these buckets start increasing in value, people tend to feel they are wealthier, though their income bucket hasn't changed at all. This means that they are wealthier on paper, they just don't have access to it, but they're spending more of their income because one of their other buckets appreciated in value. And this is like my situation where my net worth is very high, but it's all concentrated on my investments bucket. So a lot of it isn't in my income or cash ready. So I tend to limit my spend, even though I'm not a big spender. I'm always cautious of okay, this my investments have grown. Though they have grown, I don't want to spend more because it's not in cash or other forms of income. And the first part is to be mindful of your spending when you perceive yourself as to be wealthier. If your favorite investment or meme coin is going up and your portfolio is increasing in value, it might feel like a good time to buy an Xbox or a purse or any other thing. But before making a big purchase, it's always good to ask yourself if it's a stable gain or is it just an emotional response to the perceived wealth that you gained. And bite number two is prepare for the downturns. When the wealth effect works in reverse during an economic downturn, it feels like you're less financially secure because of the market. But this can be alleviated by having a solid financial plan, an emergency fund, or other securities from a stable job. And the last bite, instead of focusing on the rising value of your investments, focus on creating a long term financial plan with smart investments that you believe will grow over time. The wealth effect is a psychological force. When people feel wealthier, they tend to spend more. It's important to be aware of the wealth effect to help us make more informed decisions about our finances. It's not just about how much you own, it's about how you feel about what you own and how that influences our behavior. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.